Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hi, guys.
Yo.
Hello.
So, I am wearing today a Kush Gang t shirt.
Mm.
I have finally gotten a Kush Gang t shirt. I am excited by this. This is pretty cool. Um, and they are available at the from the Kush Gang uh, at Kush Gang Snacks. They are available from the Kush Gang at Frosty Fridays and at the Canna Market. Uh, and I don't remember how much they are now. All of a sudden, wait, wait, because
Don't tell me.
no, that's what we're
Okay.
doing today. Um, the t-shirts are, I believe they're $5, but don't quote me on that. I've got a receipt, but the receipt, I got something else that was promotional materials related, not cannabis directly. Uh, oh no, they may be like $8. They may be, yeah. But I got a receipt so that I can write this off on taxes as promotional materials. Business promotional materials. Uh, oh, hey, Chris in the 386. Great to see you here. Caught some of your set this morning. Was Larkin. Chris into 386 opens up the No Pants Sunday raid train usually. Um, Something else I did, by the way, is changed the settings in Streamlabs. So now when I start stream, it starts recording. Ah. So we
Automation
are,
is a wonderful thing.
it really is. We are recording. Um, Thank you again, Kat, for getting yesterday's episode up. I appreciate that. And I caught up with Kush Gang yesterday, of course, to pick up the T-shirt, and thanked him for the suggestion. That was very helpful. So,
That is.
yeah, it was good. Um, just saying, man. So today's pre-rolls provided by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, above the bricks, on the downtown mall, above the bricks, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, a bud. And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my personally biased research. Don't forget.
That's all, folks.
Exactly.
Yep, it is.
Don't forget to check the website for times and events. The web, such as Frosty Fridays, where you can find our other two sponsors, Firehouse, where there's smoke, there's Firehouse, and Kush Gang, purveyors of fine edibles and drinkables, and also cool T-shirts. You can find them at Frosty Fridays. Times for time bleh. Times available on the website thehiddenleafcville.com. That's thehiddenleafcville.com. We will probably be covering some note of disclosure. Jeez, why could I not get that word there for a second? Note of disclosure, we will be covering some political topics in this show, and we probably will be stating political opinions. I would like to make it clear that any political opinions you hear herein belong to the expresser of the opinion, the channel, and or the parent company, but not necessarily any of our sponsors, including Hidden Leaf, Kush Gang, and Firehouse. All right, there we go. I got through that eventually. All right, so I guess, are we ready to get into today's episode?
I think so.
I do want to cover briefly. I want to talk very quickly about follow up on what we talked about yesterday. I watched a video this morning with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to an expert in the field, in the exogeology field. And so the leopard spotting on the rock that happened,
Right.
they know that the temperature of the rocks around and the environment around at the time was relatively cool by comparison. Was like, Mars temperature by comparison, or
Mm.
which leans away from the volcanic eruption or magma spray idea,
Okay.
because that would have raised the ambient local temperature.
All right.
At least that's my theorizing. So I just wanted to touch quickly back on how I could be wrong.
So many ways.
Well, yeah, you guys know me. The audience doesn't necessarily know that wrong is my natural state of being. I try to prepare them for that. I try to let the audience know that wrong is where I usually is my base state, and that being right is an amazing thing.
Mm.
All right, so
Means you're not right in so many ways.
huh?
That means you're not right in so many ways. Your base state of being and your political views.
Right. Correct. That is correct. And about 50% of the time in my handedness. Sometimes I worry that my chirality even may be split sometimes, and I think that may be why I don't process food correctly.
Honestly, that makes as much sense as anything else.
Right? I mean, left. Okay, so this action right here with the joint makes it
Yeah.
burn evenly. I do kind of understand why. But it's a good way to get rid of any boating that happens. If you've got one side burning a lot more than the other, you do that for a little bit. And all of a sudden, it burns evenly.
All right.
It's crazy. Physics, huh?
Yes. Yes, physics.
Yes, physics. So,
Does everybody have their pen and paper, or do we need them today?
we do need them today. Now, normally we wouldn't. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, normally. On Radio IQ this week, it is, I believe, a clip show. Because Radio IQ, my local station, is running their fall fund drive. Now, as you may notice, this is a charity stream for NPR, whose federal funding has been cut. And NPR was never designed to exactly run on federal funding. However, the federal funding has helped NPR expand to bring not just emergency service notifications, but also unbiased local news to rural and inaccessible areas that otherwise have no backup systems for local information or national information for that matter, really.
Look back later.
And NPR's and most of NPR's operating budget comes from donations from its listeners. Now this with the cutback in federal funding, my local NPR station has had to go back to doing 2 fundraisers a year, one in the fall, one in the spring, which for me used to be irritating. When I was a child, I used to love it because I liked listening to the NPR hosts just sort of chat for a little bit. I liked getting to know who they were. When I got a bit older, it was a bit irritating because I was just trying to listen to the news, man. Just give me the news. But now, in my
friend.
Huh?
I have a friend of a friend who has dubbed fundraisers as this section of programming brought to you by Begovision.
Yes. Yeah,
Me?
pretty much. But I also understand why they have to do it. And more now than ever. So I encourage you not only to donate, to donate by this stream or through your local station to help support unbiased journalistic integrity and local emergency information dissemination. The greatest thing you get, though, from being a supporting member of NPR, and this is especially so if you're a sustaining member of NPR, if you pledge monthly support, you not only might you get a gift from the station. For instance, they're I don't know if they're doing their tote bags anymore, but NPR had that classic tote bag. I managed to get myself a Nina Totenberger bag. Nina Toten bag. But that's not the big deal. That's not what you really get when you give to NPR. The biggest thing that you get, the most important thing you get, is a sense of moral superiority. You get to feel better than guilt-free. Guilt-free. Just by supporting your local NPR station, you get to know that you're better than other people. So, donate by
I have two
the,
terrible jokes on Messenger.
huh?
Oh god.
I have
What's-
two terrible jokes on Messenger.
Oh no. I'm terrified.
The fact that both of us went, oh dear.
And I will say the one out loud that I can say out loud. That I feel like I can say out loud here.
Okay.
Spay and neuter your emergency information. Disseminate it.
That is horrible.
The other one, I do feel like I can. I don't feel great about saying here on
Live.
On this stream,
this stream. I can definitely say that on my other stream, on the DJ stream, though.
okay.
It's not.
Later.
It's not so wrong that I can't say it. It's just that I can't say it here. You could say it here. It can be said here. I won't say it here.
You're welcome.
I could say it in
And
my
I'm sorry.
stand-up. I can and probably will say it in my stand-up.
Question.
Yes.
How did your stand-up thing go? Because I thought you were going to go do that last weekend.
I did. Not great. It was okay.
Oh,
That part of it needed punching up. Parts of that
Well?
part of the set needed punching up, and I'm thinking about visiting it on Tuesday with Brock at some point, and running it back by you guys at some point. Although actually, probably not gonna do it on stream now that I think about it, because again,
Okay.
this is humor that I don't find appropriate for my stream personality. You know.
fair enough.
However, I will. Yeah, I definitely think working with the team would be helpful.
Mm.
There were just a lack of punchlines in that part of the bit. I got I got laughs in the places where there were punchlines for the most part. It just wasn't a lot of them. Like, it wasn't a lot of punchlines. It felt very sort of drawn out and meandery, and it went on too long.
More storytellery and less punchliney.
Yeah, and that, I guess that's okay for a middle part of a set, of a longer set. Because if you just have them laughing hard the whole time, there's no build up. There's no, but still, it needs more punchlines. So that's sort of how I felt about that.
Buy more Kool-Aid for it.
Look, it's ain't Jonestown. I want to keep my punchlines short.
Technically, that line was short.
Yeah, man. When you die at Jonestown, you really die at Jonestown.
See?
Heyo! Dang, Trevor. Dang.
So you're saying it was a special Jonestown diet?
Yes, that's what
Jonestown Kool-Aid die at.
Go for it.
The horrible thought was the next time Trevor goes to do one of these sets, secretly showing up to be the in-crowd on-purpose heckler because I know what the joke is supposed to do and I know the line to give.
Oh. No,
Oh
if I'm gonna
yeah.
have a plant heckler, we're gonna set it up good. we're gonna do some real oh god, what's his name stuff with it.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea.
Um,
Secret
Andy
plant stuff.
Kaufman, some Andy Kaufman level stuff. Uh, Zmuda, he had a plant heckler plant in the audience. The guy's name was Zmuda, and I can't remember the insult comic that Kaufman played. You know, he got in makeup and did this guy, and he was always like, "Yeah, I'm not Andy Kaufman. I'm not Andy Kaufman." And then Andy Kaufman enlisted Smuda's help to to play the guy occasionally when Andy Kaufman was around, so that it would add to the illusion. And if we're gonna do a plant in the audience, I mean, we don't have to go full on unknown comic style, you know, but I definitely don't want it to be. I don't want it to be not high concept.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be the kind of thing where we could trade lines for a few minutes. We'd have to come up with a joke that had like 6 punchlines.
That is, not a terribly hard thing to do.
No, not at all. And I'm pretty sure we could pull it off. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty sure we could pull it off. Yeah, that'd be a fun idea. Give the crowd at Fallout a bit of fun.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think I definitely think you know there's a much wider stand-up community in Richmond than just at Fallout.
Mm.
And I think if we work as a team, if we open it up to the team, I think I might be able to step into a larger stand-up community. You know, I don't think my joke writing talents are good enough on their own to do that.
I'm not buying you a scythe, dear.
So, question. Is it really easy to bomb there, or do you just feel sheltered?
Mm.
I feel sheltered. It's a very safe space. They work really hard to make sure that everybody who might feel marginalized somewhere else feels safe there. And they work really hard to keep it that way. And I respect that.
Very good.
Why did the 1930s news show host get sick?
Why?
He's constantly working with radioactivity. Be 1940s. 1940s news show host. Constantly working with radioactivity.
Honestly, the call and response of coming up with terrible puns would definitely take a couple minutes.
I wouldn't go with the timestamp on that one. Say the 3 Mile Island radio host. Did I catch you just as you were taking Toad?
No, not quite. That wasn't quite perfect timing. For a Jonestown bit, you have to have someone looking like the Kool-Aid Man carrying a scythe in the back of the room.
Please see previous statement. I am not buying a scythe.
I know where I can get one easily. Actually, a couple.
Get one legally carried into a crowded room.
I know where I can get a couple legally, quickly. It's Halloween.
Again, one legal.
It's Halloween. There are costume scythes available.
Fair enough.
I wasn't going with a costume scythe. I was going to go with an old farm implement.
I know where you were going here.
I knew where you were going too. I took it somewhere completely different on purpose, quickly.
While it is truly menacing due to the cultural significance we have placed upon it, it is a very ineffective weapon.
True. Very ineffective weapon. Oh, that's what I needed to write down real quick. It is a very ineffective weapon, yet highly dangerous. Not necessarily as a weapon, but, just in general. Whoever's standing around you stands a chance of getting hurt.
It's less a case of something that is highly lethal, but it is definitely damage inducing to those around you. So you could potentially go about causing a slew of destruction and leave those with shorter implements to finish up the job afterward.
True.
See, I honestly believe that I would not be a danger to those around me.
Yeah.
I'm poorly coordinated enough that I'd just be a danger to myself.
See,
So
if I had to take you to war, that's why I'd make you a sniper. I'd give you a gun so long that it'd be hard for you to shoot yourself with it.
Got one word for you.
What's that?
Ricochet.
Oh!
Thank you.
I've seen your dice rolls. I believe it. I believe it. He fired the bow in the other direction. How did he shoot me in the butt? Actually, no. That's you, Cat.
You are not wrong. I did shoot you in the butt with the bow.
You have shot me. You have shot one of my characters. At least you have shot more than one of my characters in the back or the back butt area more than once.
No, I've only shot you once. There was a different character that was caused to grab your jewels And I was less than helpful in freeing you from that character's grip.
Okay,
In,
okay.
in her defense, the vast majority of the times that it happened, it was due to poor dice.
Yeah,
Or in my case, it was on purpose.
This is true. You did shoot
that
him a
is.
couple times on purpose.
Yep, that is true. Although that character, I really didn't mind seeing that character get shot in the back by friendly fire on purpose.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was
I did not like that
attitude
character.
adjustment.
Huh? What?
It was needed attitude adjustment for that character arc.
Yep. Exactly. Well, all right. I think
Yeah,
we
40
are
minutes into the stream. That's a good time to start.
right. I think we're about
It's,
ready to start listening to the episode.
we are streaming. We are recording. We have done the ad read, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
we are streaming. We're
Okay.
recording. We've done the ad read. We've given listeners time to get here. Everybody got pencil and paper.
Yes.
All right.
I have some questions on things and if they will show up.
Remember, the answer to most of the questions is going to be Nepal.
I hope so.
Nepal.
We'll go through the show, and if it doesn't show up, we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nepal,
Hi, NPR
SAG-AFTRA,
listeners. Each year,
Wars.
NPR invites students from around the country to submit their audio stories to NPR's Student Podcast Challenge. Click to learn more and listen to stories from recent winners.
I'll
Support
ask you to
for
repeat
NPR
that
and
again
the
in a
Student
second.
Podcast Challenge come from Progressive Insurance. Get a quote online at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty
Hey,
Insurance
Maddie.
Company and affiliates.
All right.
This message comes from
1970s reference I used in my bit, not Andy Kaufman. What bit? Which bit?
Paul versus old Paul.
Mm-hmm.
New Paul versus old Paul?
Oh,
No.
What?
nope. Nope.
Nope. That is a topic we will discuss if it does not come up in
Oh,
Wait.
okay. 1970s reference I used before. There was the 3 Mile Island, but that was Was that 1970s? Yeah. There was the
I think
3
that was
Mile...
like 82, 83.
82, 83. There was 3 Mile Island. There were the jokes. There was Fallout Shelter,
Yeah.
which is the club in Richmond.
Oh, 79.
In the 70s. Barely, but still 70s.
Okay, then it was probably 3 Mile Island.
Was what was said. I think it was, which was said in reference to trying to nail down a specific year date. Instead of just going, 1930s radio,
1940s radio, right. Without saying the word radio.
Right.
Without saying the word radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although
Why
that's
did
why
you
I
think
wanted to go with a timestamp, is because I wanted to timestamp the joke before TV. Or before TV was the most popular medium for getting news.
True.
Because in the punchline, you need to pick up on that it's radio. An issue here? But there's a way to do it with the 3 Mile Island.
I mean, if you say DJ, that tends to bring to mind.
Oh yeah, you
Radio.
could say DJ. I could say DJ, not. 3 Mile Island DJ.
We predate the millennium. It's gonna be that way, Maddie.
Oh God, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that is a
the
good
pun will work.
point. Huh?
So the pun will work itself. That's still a decent pun.
Yeah. Man, that is. I did not.
I
I
said
think
that we could do
that's
it
the
for one.
other. I think that's the other thing. I don't have issues. I have whole volumes. Yes, you do. I think that's the other thing is like that happened when I did stand up is I realized that my comedy is not updated. My comedy is still for you know, still for a pre 2016 audience. Mm-hmm. Reminiscence magazine readers. Yeah. And I mean, that's part of what, a lot of these one liner jokes that go on YouTube are fine for that because it's nostalgia bait, basically. Um, but for the stand up
You mean you
sets,
need to have a stand-up costume where you go on stage in a full corduroy suit?
oh, God, no.
No, we do not need this.
Oh, dear God, no. The whole encyclopedia. Well put. Um, yeah, I need to update my stand up style. I mean, yeah, I need to get some idea of what new comedy is like.
At least you're not going up there and starting with what's the deal with airplane food?
Pre 1996 audience, yes. Okay, yes, a pre 96 audience. I'm still basically like, I mean, I'm still heavily influenced by vaudeville. You know, a lot of my comedy influence comes from vaudeville. Uh, yeah. Maybe what I need to do is go watch. Yes, 1980s George Burns referencing the Austro-Hungarian Empire. I mean, I'm pretty sure that World War II started because an Austrian prince got hungry and shot a turkey with grease.
Mm-hmm.
That's World War One.
Oh, that's World War One. That's right, not World War Two. World War One started because yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh, here's what you do. All right, I like this. Got me in suspense. Um, you lean harder into that anarchic counterculture burnout 1970s 80s style comedy, but you update the references and jokes. Okay, I could
The
see that.
tournament.
Yeah, yeah. Very much sort of like Trey Crowder has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whereas I've been leaning more towards a Josh Johnson style of storytelling jokes. Uh, Current events, George Carlin. Yeah, yeah. Current events, George Carlin. Gianmarco Sorsi. He's got the angry 80s vibe, but everything is updated. I have not. We'll have to look that up. Gianmarco Sorsi. Okay. I don't know that I want to be angry because that is angry white guy is not a great look. And while I am not white, I'm still too, white to be looking like an angry white guy. But it is an adaptable thing. It's a very adaptable archetype. I don't have to be angry. I can be unsettled. I can be passionate.
Mm-hmm.
That no respect whatsoever.
I'm talking 80s comedians. I'm going to throw out random references.
I know. I did get some laughs. I'd got some pretty good laughs when I did the impressions. Describing oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name now. There are several streamers that they're very white looking but are actually Middle Eastern. Yeah. I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm white adjacent. Like I'm Jewish and white. And those are the two, and I'm, Ashkenazi Jewish, so it's not even the Middle Eastern Jewish. It's Russian Jews that came over escaping pogroms right before they said, you know what, no more Jews. So I'm but I'm also non-binary. I'm queer. I was raised on a hippie commune. All of these things that would make me socially white, I'm not. I'll really like Gianmarco Sorsi then. He's Jewish Italian American. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I was talking about the impressions that got laughs. So when I described Jimmy Stewart as, you remember him, he's the guy that took an angel and a giant pink invisible bunny to Washington to fight Congress with the power of the filibuster. I actually got a way bigger laugh than I expected. And then when I did him doing the ad for Ronald Reagan, people were with me on it. And when I did the punchline for that side of it, when they get to heaven, I wanted to be there to hear Jimmy Stewart. Mr. President, what in the hell happened? That landed really well. And then I started in on the Ronald Reagan impression, and they were 100% with it. Yeah, I can do those big reference points, and it will work. It does work. And it is sort of like, it's been I throw the audience off balance because I do also I make some very modern jokes, use some very modern language. Defrosted Reagan in 2025. Oh god. That would be amazing. Well, why are there so many jelly beans? Why are there flavors of jelly beans like snot and grass? Well, I remember when they were simple. Yeah, so it is, I think, mixing up both the anachronisms and the modernity of it has had some good effects. But it also I do need to be aware of what audience I'm playing to, because there are jokes where the punchlines make no sense if the audience is unaware of. Well, I'd always said he'd do great things for this country. Even if I knew he couldn't run a casino.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand how he figured out how to get paid for acting without acting. I tried really hard my entire career. Oh, God. All right, we may have to do some special non to YouTube streams so that we can work out this.
Yeah.
So we can work out these jokes. And you know what, Kat? Would you send Maddie an invite to the Discord? We're really careful about sending out invites to the Discord just because we have some people in the community that are more vulnerable than I am, and I want to protect the Discord community. You know, I pretty heavily try to protect the Discord community. So we don't put out the Discord address much. He'd think it was whaling with a net. Yeah. But yeah, maybe I think we should do a special non to YouTube at some point and get Maddie involved in pitching jokes for the stand up. Yeah. Where were we? We were still starting. Wait, don't tell me.
Yes, we have not started the game yet. Oh, no.
For some reason, I watched an old Six Flags ad with the "We Like to Party" music. I mean, it was the music video. It was a music video of "We Like to Party" with extra bits added on to make the video. And that a distorted one of those air horns is the opening sound. So all I could think No. I'm picturing the old man, the creepy old man. I mean, he haunted my dreams for years. And he looked so innocent and like he's having so much fun, and yet it is uncanny valley creepy. All right, let's try this.
So Uncanny Valley that you wish it had remained Hidden Valley?
Yes.
1. The Capital One Venture
All right.
X business
Can you guys
card
hear?
earns unlimited double miles on every purchase.
This is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz.
All
Bill
right.
Curtis has big shoes to fill, but his stilettos look pretty good on me. I'm Dr. Che Rhinefest Smith, and here's your host at the Studebaker Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Whoa! Thank you all! Thank you, Rhinefest! Thank you, everybody! I feel the same way. Later on, we're going to be talking to legendary sportscaster Bob Costas. But first, we here are so excited to have Rhymefest filling in for Bill Curtis. It's astonishing. And I gotta ask, you're a legend in hip-hop, you're a Grammy and Oscar-winning songwriter, you're a filmmaker. What in the world are you doing here?
Well, you know, records stopped selling.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And then I volunteered for the school board.
Yeah?
And now I'm going to try my hand at a defunded
Yeah, exactly. You're
public radio.
You're working your way down.
Yeah, I'm working my way through.
Lucky us. I think you'll fit in. If you want to be able to say, oh yeah, one day I hung out with Rhymefest, then give us a call. The number is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Let's welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you are on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, Peter. This is Shane from Parkville, Maryland.
Parkville, Maryland, not one of the suburbs of Washington?
Suburb of Baltimore.
Oh, even better.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do there?
Work for environmental compliance, centered around using dredge material for restoration efforts.
Oh, really? So you're like dredging stuff up from the bottom of Chesapeake Bay?
I don't dredge it, but I inspect it and I get kind of mucky with it sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, every once in a while.
So the job is like, well, we just dragged this stuff up from the bottom of the bay. Come on, Shane, you got to look at it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to our show, Shane. Let me
seems
introduce
like there
you to
could
our
be
panel
worse
this
jobs.
week. First up, she's the comedian hosting Trivia Night for Cheaters, a benefit for 826 NYC on Tuesday, October 7th, at Brooklyn Brewery. It's Emmy Blotnick.
Hi, Emmy.
Hi, Shane. Inspector Shane.
Inspector Shane. Next, he's our old friend, the Prince of Bronzeville, and he's bringing stand-up to the runway at his Paris Fashion Week Comedy Festival, September 29th to October 5th. It's Brian Babylon.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
And an actor and writer who will be appearing at the improv show 2 Square at the Cold Town Theater in Austin, Texas, October 17th and 18th, and the Rockwell in Somerville, Massachusetts, on October 24th. It's Peter Gross.
Hey, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
So, Shane, welcome to the show. You're going to play Who's Rhymefest this time. Rhymefest, filling in for Bill Curtis, is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. If you can correctly identify or explain just 2 of them, you'll win our prize. Any voice from our show you might choose for your voicemail. Are you ready to go?
Not even a little, but I'll try my best.
All right, here you go. Let's see what we can dredge up.
That's good.
Your first quote is a line from a song you may soon no longer be able to hear on TV.
Oh, Ozempic.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That was a certified.
That was. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just getting the news in. You just got another Grammy. They invented a category. You got it. That was from a particular kind of ad that may soon disappear from TV. Ads for what?
Medication.
Weight
Yeah,
loss
pharmaceuticals.
drugs. Pharmaceuticals.
They're gonna take away the pharmaceutical ads. Damn it. Oh, you're excited? I'm upset. Now I'll never find out what Skyrizi is. This week, President Trump directed the government to reinstitute a 1990s-era policy that would sharply restrict pharmaceutical ads. Now, I have moderate to severe sadness about this news.
Ask your doctor.
No, this is going to change everything. Like, there are going to be big protests from the union for elderly but very attractive people good at smiling at farmers markets. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Nobody in those commercials talks, and people don't realize a lot of actors who can't.
What was that?
We will no longer have random bathtubs showing up in unusual places.
Right. Finally, good news. Exactly, Maddie.
Hold on.
Take it all away. Yes, they will pay him to bring him back.
Yeah. I bet you it's just a way of wringing money out of the big pharma for Trump. Just because, I think his real issue with big pharma isn't that they are charging so much for drugs. It's that he's not making any money there.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it would make sense that it would be one of those things. It's where he extorted money out of the chip makers, out of the big chip makers. Extorted money and company, company ownership, stuff like that, out of the big chip makers, just so that he can be making a bit of that. And it is classic mafia extortion technique.
Yes, it's exactly what he's attempting.
Attempting governance via extortion, yeah. And there are huge people in his administration who are actively hostile against modern medicine and vaccines. Yes. Yes, there are.
You do have to
R.F.
clarify
Brainworm
that
Kennedy Jr. What?
You do have to specify the difference, because there is a difference between modern medicine and vaccinations. They've been around for a long time.
Point taken. In fact, earliest vaccinations, and many vaccinations still are a form of homeopathic medicine. You're using a bit of the offending thing to make the cure. And homeopathic medicine, homeopathic means of the same pathogen. That's all it means. Which is exactly what a vaccination is. So it's been around forever, basically. Dead viruses or vaccinations. Worst Ratatouille spinoff? Oh, Variolations is where they use live strains. That's the older style. Okay. I see the... Yeah. I see the distinction there. I was using it in a very broad sense there, and incorrectly. It is good to know that that difference. Modern vaccinations for about 250 years. Variolations have been around for centuries, if not millennia. There you go. A, very important distinction to make, but B, also, good to know where how the idea evolved. Having that, they see that this works to build up your immunity. the idea then evolves to, will it still work if this is not active? And, you know, so I think not only a good distinction to make, but good to see how the idea evolved and to see, you know, how long it's been around for, that it's not new science, you know. All right, back to it.
Can't speak are going to be out of work.
Really?
Yeah, they were very instrumental in the silent movie era, and then farm
So they
ads.
actually, is it like Singing in the Rain? They have really funny voices. Like if you look at like that handsome silver fox
exactly.
and all like the
I have black
Viagra.
psoriasis. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the Cialis ad is like,
I can't quite take Cialis, otherwise I can't have sex.
Well, you know, I told you, I had an audition to be in a Wegovy ad.
Yeah.
Like a month ago.
That's of course the
weight
loss
like
drug,
the Hogwarts weight loss program. And
Going to be the before or the
no,
after?
I was going to be the husband of the wife that lost the weight, and I had a box like, yeah, my baby did it. And that was supposed to be my, look at her, she lost all that weight. Good job, baby. And I was, you know, I had to like emote that without words.
Yeah, really. Again, no speaking. That's the thing.
Exactly.
I for one will be sad to lose the ads because they're like the best way to get great ideas for dates that aren't like a movie. You know, like kayaking, hot air ballooning, playing together in a jug band.
I should repot my plants.
Yeah.
my son, that Ozempic song that Rhymefest sang, my son heard that song, 10 times watching CNN, and then we were in the car and we heard, it's magic, and he was like, oh, the Ozempic song. I was like, no, it's the other way around.
All right, Shane. Shane, your next quote is what a lot of Catholics are saying this week.
What would Carlo do?
That, in particular, was an 8th grader at a Catholic school here in Chicago
He's
talking
been
about
made into
Carlo Acutis, who this week
a
was
saint.
canonized as the first ever millennial what?
Saint.
Yes, the first millennial saint. Point out, once again, Gen X skipped over.
Were we?
Yeah, there's no...
Oh, well, because we didn't care.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I know a lot of
cares?
people who were saints, but it was like ironic, and they didn't really care about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only like the Pope now. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
When Saint Carlo, as he is now officially known, Saint Carlo, when he was alive, he was known as God's influencer. That's because the 15-year-old in Italy spread his love of the Catholic Church all over the internet, and also because he got a bunch of free stuff from God that he had to link in his bio.
Well, wasn't he like he came up old school internet?
Yeah, he was
like MySpace.
Yeah, this was back in the 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah, so like that was some hard work, you know.
Yeah.
JavaScript.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was tough, but he did. He created websites to sort of spread the gospel of the Catholic Church. And so now he is a saint, the first ever from that generation. And it's got to be tough for him up in like the saints section of heaven, because he's got to be helping all the other saints with their computers. It's like, Carlo, can you type this email for me? My stigmata are acting up again.
You know what he says? Just reboot.
I'm saying like he was
Just reboot it.
elevated.
Reboot it. The one thing we do know.
What?
It was elevated to be tech support.
Exactly. They needed, because you know they get in the afterlife they get dead technology. So, you know, in heaven they're running off a bunch of old Macs. In hell they're
Did you
running
know
off of Windows NT.
I think it's the other way around.
Could you imagine? You know, you're in whatever afterlife you're in, and then all of a sudden you get whisked to this other part and told, "Congratulations, you've been elevated to sainthood because of this thing that you did. You're now tech support forever."
Yeah, I can.
I was just sort of thinking
Windows
of
Vista. Yeah, Windows Vista.
Okay, yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the other saints sitting there, either praying or highlighting manuscripts, and you've got this one guy just wandering around with an iPhone.
Yes, that too.
It will
tweeting out
happen.
replies
Currently,
of
he's got a
prayer.
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, but at least he knows how to deal with Windows 93.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even worse.
No, nobody
got a
knows how to
BlackBerry.
deal with what?
He's got a BlackBerry. That means that he grew up and knows how to text on a standard phone.
I mean, yeah.
So
But
someone
this
sending
is-
out prayers, all they get is a string of numbers, and they have to figure out what this string of numbers mean because they don't know how to text on a regular phone.
No, BlackBerry had a QWERTY.
No, it's not. BlackBerry did. But
Yeah, really. DOS is dead. It's sad.
It's bad by today's standards, but it was great.
No. I mean, it's sad that it's dead. It's not bad. It was
Oh, okay.
Oddly enough, it was a fairly stable operating system. It was when they added. It's when they took Windows off of a DOS, out of the DOS shell, that Windows became a lot less stable. It was also a very simple operating system. Bless its soul. I should have learned Linux, but we didn't have a machine to run Linux. And we were pretty stuck because of my mom's career. We were pretty stuck with IBMs up until the early middle aughts. Not that that has anything to do with anything. All right, let's get back to it. You guys still there?
no, we left.
Oh, okay.
One thing we do know is that St. Carlo will be the first person to wear a halo who played Halo. All right, here, Shane, is your last quote.
I tend to watch where he goes in the yard. We sometimes make eye contact while he completes the act.
That was a writer at The Atlantic arguing that who needs more privacy than you're currently giving them?
Dogs.
Your dog.
Exactly right, yes. This week, The Atlantic suggested that animals deserve more privacy, especially our pets. Well, maybe, but the only reason dogs want privacy is because they're in the next room eating out of the garbage.
Out of respect, I don't read my dog's diary, but
Very kind of you.
I do smother him physically.
Do you really?
I can't leave him alone.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the problem, apparently.
They get used to too much stimulation, and then when they don't have it,
Well,
they start to
the
freak
argument
out.
is, well, and you talk to a dog expert, a well-known woman.
Oh,
and
I didn't think you were going to say expert in that sentence.
I talked to a
talk
dog.
to a dog.
He talked to a dog.
And apparently, your dog seems excited to see you all the time. But she says, actually, dogs don't mind being alone. It's just you've been away for so long. They've had enough time to forget how problematic you really are.
What is a dog expert?
Ouch.
What is that? It's somebody who pretends that they can talk to dogs.
Thank you. That's the thing. It's somebody who has studied in a scholarly and scientific fashion the behavior of dogs.
It's somebody.
Okay, don't say it like that, Peter. Like, it's actually no Harvard.
Brian, it's somebody who is over $100,000 in student debt.
Yeah.
Gone to school.
Facts.
Ryan Fest, how did Shane do in our quiz?
Well, insane in the membrane, can't complain. He got all 3 right. Give it up for Shane.
Congratulations, Shane. You could ask us to do a voicemail for you. You could just use that.
Like, just use that.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much for playing, Shane. Take care.
Thank you.
Sometimes I feel like I am better off alone. Spiderwebs entangle me. You're not around, I'm worried.
This is going to give us a copyright claim. End of one.
Better off alone.
Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions from this week's news. Peter, New York.
What was that?
I don't even recognize it.
I don't either, but it's modern enough, and a lot of the rock genres tend to be very guard their IP pretty hard. They don't like people just straight up using their IP. A lot of,
Can't blame them.
I mean, meh. I don't know. I don't exactly blame them, but like I do kinda. Like Metallica.
Political stuff, because they are so guarded, there have been a number of times that our current administration has had to pay out for using songs without permission.
True. And I do appreciate that. I think that Metallica, like, for using stuff publicly, I do understand it. For using full songs publicly, I do understand it. But Metallica's litigiousness in shutting down Napster really, I felt like it did this disservice to the fans, to the people who were just trying to get their hands on music. It was like, no, the bands and the labels want a massive cut. And it's like, Metallica, you are rich. You are wealthy. Why are you trying to squeeze more money out of your fan base? And labels getting their cut, their massive cut. And this sort of propping up this old record industry standard where it became really hard to break into the industry as well. It was, and so that was very much, I think that sat very poorly with a lot of people. That use of IP protection sits very poorly with a lot of people.
Firebird.
Huh?
Firebird.
I mean, yeah, kinda.
Sorry, I'll never forget that little flash animation. Game set himself on fire for you. Firebird. Firebird.
You're doing that while I read your message in chat. Ow, my brain.
Look,
Welcome to my world.
yesterday we had the very, very deep scientific talks.
We did,
Today
but it was also very funny.
we have ventured into a different realm of very deep talk,
Yes,
but are somehow more brain frying. It's just the way we work.
it is. All right, back to it.
New York City, as I'm sure you know, has banned all cell phones in schools, and New York State has rolled out a program to encourage students everywhere to put their phones down. And to convince them to do it, the governor this week introduced the centerpiece of that campaign.
Oh, no.
What is it?
A bad mascot.
A signed picture of Kathy Hochul that says, "You're doing a good job."
Oh, what student wouldn't do anything
Yeah.
to get that? I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
It's based on the success of convincing Philadelphians to be fanatics.
A mascot.
A mascot! Who's better? Yes, a mascot. We
I
love
don't have
mascots.
to get
Who's
the
better
specific mascot. I'll
to
take it.
convince kids to get excited about giving up their phones than a 6-foot-tall
Deep
fluorescent
thoughts with
green
Jack
furry?
Candy.
His name is
I remember that.
Frankie Focus. Frankie Focus, and Frankie Focus looks a little bit like the Grinch, but with glasses. Get it? He's got glasses. His message is, you can be a nerd and still be terrifying.
I thought Frankie Focus was an Adderall dealer. Hey, Frankie, you got that stuff?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Because they have no idea what else to do. Gritty. Not gritty.
Oh my.
So a 6-foot-tall green furry.
Yeah.
With glasses.
Yep.
To convince people not to be on their phones.
Yeah. This sounds like it's going to work so well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
very.
I'm just waiting for the 30-second rule of the internet to get a hold of that.
No. Oh, man. No.
32nd or 34th.
34th. Yes.
Thank you.
I don't
34th.
care which
Sorry.
one. No. Oh.
I'm not saying it's going to be good by any stretch, but it is a
Oh.
furry
I mean, you're
in
not
public
wrong.
domain.
You're not wrong. Bad things are gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Gritty.
Hilarious.
I
Okay.
don't know the mascot Gritty. There's a mascot.
Philadelphia Flyers, right?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Flyers,
Philadelphia Flyers. Oh, is that where the dance move, the Gritty, comes from?
I think
I
so.
believe so.
Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, I don't pay enough attention to sports. Like, even though I have a few favorite teams and understand football itself pretty well and know soccer pretty well, I don't pay much attention to what's actually going on in sports. So I miss a lot of the peripheral stuff, like around the mascots, unless they have some sort of, pop social impact.
That's pretty much all Gritty is.
But Philadelphia hated that mascot when they debuted it, right up until another mascot on Twitter mocked and Gritty straight up threatened to murder it back. Then Philadelphia fell in love with it immediately. Oh, I love that.
That sounds about right, honestly.
I love that. That's how you earn a Philly. That's how you earn a Phillies loyalty. Threaten to murk your opponents. That's beautiful.
Okay. So back with the show.
Back to the show.
You tell your friends where you got it. You got it from Frankie Focus.
Frankie Focus.
Coming up, our panelists get their inheritance in our Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR. This message comes from Cook Unity. Fuel your day with fresh, fully cooked meals from award-winning, more challenging than a professional.
This is Connect with no stock.
Our news quiz. I am not Dr. Dre, I am Dr. Che. Ryan Smith, we're playing this week with Peter Gross, Emmy Blotnick, and Brian Babylon. And here, again, is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Ron Fest. Thank you so much. Right now, it's time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play our game on the air. Hi, you are on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, I'm Marissa from Cape Coral, Florida.
Hey, how are things in Cape Coral?
Very rainy.
Aw. Let's all take a moment.
Very rainy.
Let's take a moment to pity you. Well, that was fun. Well, welcome to the show, Marissa. You're going to play our game in which you must try to tell truth from fiction. Rhyme Fest. What is Marissa's topic?
This is my last will and testament.
There's nothing fun about a will. Until now. Our panelists are going to tell you about someone who received an unusual and unexpected inheritance that we found in the news this week. Pick the one who's telling the truth, and you'll win our prize, the Wait Waiter of your choice in your voicemail. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right. First up, let's hear from Peter Gross.
Jennifer Inso lives in a fancy New York City apartment building in Unit 4D next to Jeffrey Malinsky in 4C. They've been arch enemies for 10 years, constantly arguing about the 9 squawking parrots in Jeffrey's apartment. Jennifer would complain to the co-op board, then he would complain about her, then she would sue, alleging intentional infliction of emotional distress, then he would countersue, claiming something he called interspecies prejudice. She finally gave up and learned to live with it, figuratively. And then Jeffrey's body gave up and made her live with it, literally, when he died this week and left her his parrots in his will.
Where there's a family fight.
Jennifer
Very nice.
came home from work on Monday to discover the birds, their cages, and 100 pounds of bird food in her foyer. She was on the phone with her lawyer explaining the whole situation, but when she mentioned the name Jeffrey Malinsky, one of the parrots chimed in, "Bark, glad he's dead, bark." Jennifer couldn't believe it, so she said his name again. "Bark, total jerk, bark." That's why the parrots were so loud. They hated this guy, even more than she did. So now Jennifer has 9 new best friends who spend all day talking smack about her former neighbor. He's rotting in hell.
A woman stunned to be left with the parrots owned by the man next door she hated. Your next story of a willy-nilly will comes from Brian Babylon.
A Brazilian billionaire has named football star Neymar as a sole heir to his estate that's worth about $1 billion. And this is without even ever meeting the guy. Yes, some people leave their money to their kids. Some people leave money to charity. This guy said, you know what? Neymar looks like he can use a little help. In the document, the billionaire wrote, I like Neymar. I identify with him a lot. He's not self-serving, and that's something rare these days. Apparently, the man was so touched by Neymar's relationship with his father, which reminded him of his own late dad. So instead of therapy, he decided to write a $1 billion love letter. Courts now have to improve the inheritance. Legal experts say that he will have to face taxes and disputes, or as lawyers like to call it, summer vacation money. Neymar, meanwhile, has commented, probably because he's busy practicing falling over dramatically when the IRS shows up.
Billionaire in Brazil leaves his entire fortune to a soccer star he had never
Brazilian
met.
billionaire.
Your last story of a will gone wild comes from Emmy Blotnick.
A deceased Vermont-based man was discovered to have an unusual will, dedicating his entire fortune.
Wait a second. We're going to have to back up just a second to hear Emily's intro again, but A bazillionaire. That's what a bazillion is. We've all been wondering since we were children. It's a Brazilian billion.
It's a Brazilianaire.
It's a Brazilian.
Ooh, that's a little bit stinging there.
I'm not making any bald jokes.
To just Earth.
Leaves his entire fortune to a soccer star he had never met. Your last story of Will Gone Wild comes from Emmy Blotnick.
A deceased Vermont-based man was discovered to have an unusual will, dedicating his entire fortune to just Earth. Complicating matters, the man also requested that his remains be dropped into an active volcano. His declaration is now being reviewed by the court, which will determine if money for Earth should be assigned to an environmental cause or given to one member of the band Earth, Wind, and Fire, should one of them go by Earth. The will also does not name a specific volcano, but a clearly stated wish for it to be, quote, splashin' with magma, by which he likely meant lava, but the point is, he's gone. His inheritance is said to have a value in the ballpark of $5,000, which is not enough to charter a volcano helicopter or really do much of anything with a dead guy.
So, one of these was in the news this week, was it, from Peter Gross, a woman who was left the 9 parrots she hated that lived next door, only to discover that they hated their owner as much as she did. From Brian Babylon, a Brazilian billionaire who, having no one else to leave his money to, gave it to his favorite, already incredibly wealthy soccer player who he did not know. Or, from Emmy Blotnick, a man who left his money to the earth with the condition that he be dropped into it. Which of these was the...
A bazillion cut.
I'm going to go A because I like that one.
I mean, yeah, I do too. I kind of want it to be that, but I actually am pretty sure I heard a story about B. So.
These was the real story of a bequest we found in the news this week.
Do you have something to say?
Nope, I do not.
The soccer thing feels more real, definitely.
Funny, because my kid's favorite soccer star is Neymar Jr., so I'm going to have to go with Neymar.
You're going to have to go with Neymar, because if it was up to your kids, they'd give him the money too. All right, your choice is Brian's story. Well, we spoke to an expert on this subject to bring you the truth.
I would say this is pretty random. I mean, most people are not just leaving it to like a sports star.
That was Rosanna Roizen, a partner in the Trusts and Estates Group at Carter, Krinsky, and Drogan, LLP, giving her estate lawyerly reaction to the real story of the billionaire giving all his money to Neymar. Congratulations, Marissa. You got it right. You've won our prize. Your kids will be thrilled. It's all good. You won, Neymar won, Brian won. We're winners all around. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you.
All right, take care. And now the game we call Not My Job. If you ask somebody to imitate a sportscaster, right, for fun, chances are they're going to do their best Bob Costas. He has broadcast everything from NASCAR to the NBA, plus most Olympics in the last 4 decades.
Got here just in time
runnings of the
from Bob
Kentucky
Costas,
Derby, Super Bowls,
Black Pick.
plus he's hosted his own interview and talk shows over the years. We don't know whether to ask him questions or just have him do play-by-play of our show. Bob Costas, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
I do remember Bob
It's so
Costas
exciting
on TV.
It's a pleasure to finally talk to you after all the years I listened to you broadcasting games. We read, Bob, that you fulfilled a certain cliche of sportscasters in that you tried and failed at every sport you attempted as a young man. Is that true?
You know, I wouldn't say that I failed. I wasn't that bad by schoolyard standards, but I couldn't make my high school baseball or basketball team. And the baseball coach, who was also a math teacher, that's the way it works in high school, he actually said to me something to the effect of, you're not bad with the glove and you can run a little bit, but I don't think you can hit your weight, and I don't think you weigh 130. Which might have
I
been
thought
true
he was
when I
dead
was 16
too,
years
actually.
old. And then he actually said, you know, you're always talking about baseball, and you know more about baseball than any of my players. Have you ever thought about broadcasting? And I said, that's pretty much all I think about. And he actually said, as if it was a movie, good, try that.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
And have you ever gone and found any of the guys who did make the team and say, how long did your career in sports last?
One of them actually pitched in the major leagues for 2 years. He did make it to the big leagues. The rest of them have scattered to the four winds, and I'm sure they're aware of me, and I'm not quite aware.
So I'm not surprised that it's math because, that's a smart coach. I'm not surprised that it's math because baseball's a lot about statistics, and it tends to, I can imagine, especially the coaching aspect of it, would attract somebody who likes to pay attention to the statistics and do the math of that. And if I had the time, very empathic coach. If I had the time to do other math for fun, other than D&D, and then below D&D physics, and then below physics, regular math, I would be into baseball statistics. But there's just so much other fun math to do for fun. And at this point, D&D math, I'm not just doing for fun. Occasionally, I'm doing for fun and profit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be empathic. Programming, man. That's what you call doing math for fun. Graphic demos are a blast. Programming is math language for fun. And because I'm not actually so great at language, I'm not very good at programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My language skills are not not actually the best. It really surprises people that that's my weak point. All right, back to the game.
Where they are, and I don't care.
Yeah. And you went off to Syracuse University, right? The Newhouse School, to learn your trade. This is, of course, if you don't know, it is the Harvard of broadcasting schools. And but I'm curious, how do you learn to do sports broadcasting? Like what are the skills you have to study?
You know, you cannot learn it in a classroom. You want to get as good and as well-rounded an education as you possibly can, and to be a reader, because it improves your appreciation of language and turns of phrase, and the broader your frame of reference is, the more you can bring to bear where appropriate in a sports broadcast or any kind of broadcast. But the only way you actually learn to be a broadcaster is by doing it. You can't sit there in a classroom and learn it. You just have to find out if you have a knack, and then you work on that knack as you move along.
So, okay, you're a Hall of Fame broadcaster, an absolute legend in the industry. Nobody's perfect all the time. Can you remember a time when, you just blew it on live TV?
That last one isn't a finger lock pick. And no, I'm not pulling it to see if you fart. Just use base 11. It's all about the extra A.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on a base 11 joke, but it's just one step away from being funny. All my math is done at waist height. Didn't Bob Costas have some kind of sex scandal? I think that was... Oh, God. The guy who looks like Bob Costas but's bald on top?
Sandusky?
Oh, no, I meant broadcaster, but it's also regular news broadcaster, like morning show broadcaster.
Yeah.
But Sandusky, I remember Sandusky getting in trouble, too.
Let's see. Hang on. I'm looking.
Jeez, Peanut Gallery.
What? I go for low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging coffee beans. Not Sandusky. Okay, I don't...
I'm not finding anything specifically as a sex scandal. He's been outspoken in other venues, but let's see.
I think Maddie and I are getting several white broadcaster type older guys mixed up.
Hang on, let's see.
Frank Gifford. I don't remember. I don't remember if Frank Gifford I vaguely remember Frank Gifford being in the news again. Kathy Lee got in trouble for the child sweatshops, but that was in the late 90s, early aughts.
What I am finding is that he got fussed at for his criticism of people that actually got yanked up by various sex scandals. So that might be where the crossed wires are coming in. Is you had several sports people and several broadcasters getting in trouble, and he was vocal about it.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeming to see right now is various people and him talking.
I do not.
Apparently, it's apparently among other things, he's interviewed a couple of them.
Okay.
And asked some of the hard questions.
Huh. I don't remember. I don't remember much about Frank Gifford. I don't know much about Frank Gifford, so. That's interesting. That is interesting, though. All right, back to it.
Oh my, yes. Now I realize it's NPR.
Yes.
Do you want the unedited version of this?
Yeah. Give us the MTV version.
I mean, go ahead, Bob. What are they going to do? Defund us?
Here you go.
Wow, Peter. Wow.
That is going to be the
Now,
round
if everybody
prize.
clapping could give $5,000.
Yeah.
That would be really wonderful.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's the deal. My first job out of Syracuse, I did minor league hockey my senior year at Syracuse, $30 a game. But I was lucky enough right after that at age 22 to go to St. Louis, big station, KMOX, 50,000-watt station, to broadcast the games for the Spirits of St. Louis in the old ABA. The first night they play on a Friday night, they have a big lead with about 2 minutes to go, and the game slips away. They're up by 7, and somehow the game slips away. 2 nights later, they're playing at home again, and they're ahead by 5 with like a minute to go. And I turned toward the analyst, who was a wonderful gentleman named Bill Wilkerson, and I said the following: Bill, it appears as if the Spirits have this game well in hand, but Coach Bob McKinnon taking a timeout here, wanting to take no chances, because the last thing he wants to see is a repeat of Friday night's flow. I actually said that.
You did.
I actually said that. You know, they blew the game, and, the syntax just got kind of mangled, right?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it is his job, and if he blew the game, it just sort of comes naturally to that phrase, doesn't it?
And my thought is, I looked at Wilkerson, and he looked at me, and his eyes got as wide as saucers. And the engineer just made that circular thing with the index finger, like, keep on going, keep on going. We can't have all this dead air. And I was 100% certain that the next morning I'd be on a flight back to Syracuse. But the station manager took pity on me and said, don't ever let this happen again. Well, I certainly will try not to.
A lot of people called in, and they were like, can we get more of that Bob Costas guy?
Let me ask you this. You've over the years, obviously not just baseball, NFL games, NBA games, horse races, and the Olympics, of course, for many, many years on NBC. So out of all those things, can you tell me like what the weirdest or most unusual sport is you've ever had to broadcast and comment on?
Well, I didn't do play-by-play as the host of the Olympics, but you're commenting on and showing highlights of almost everything. Curling in the Winter Olympics. Think about getting a gold medal, an Olympic gold medal, for an activity in which you can drink beer while doing it.
Yes.
Even more so in the Summer Olympics, race walking is a staple. Now, there may be, 200 race walkers in the United States, but in parts of Eastern Europe, like in Romania or something, race walkers are like Michael Jordan, apparently. So, 1992 in Barcelona, I'm hosting the Olympics, and there's a package of highlights, and it ends with a bunch of race walkers. And you know what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
It looks like gotta go right now is what it looks like, right?
15-minute shorts who really need to use the restroom. I understand.
Right, exactly. But so I come off of it, I think it's completely harmless, and the people on the set laughed. I said, isn't a competition to see who can walk the fastest a little bit like a contest to see who can whisper the loudest? Eventually, don't you just cross over and start running? Now, you would think that was completely harmless, but the very small race walking community wanted my head on a pike.
Yup. And that's why you can never go back to Romania.
That's correct.
Well, Bob,
I mean, there is a huge kinesiastic difference between walking and running. As far as kinesiology is concerned, there's a huge difference between the two. One, even in its slowest forms, you were off the ground for a period of time. The other, you are in constant contact with the ground. And that's... And while I get the linguistic joke, I also see why you don't mess with race walkers, like why you don't make that statement in a larger sense, because they can point to this very well-defined scientific line and say, here's the difference. And that's sort of like, for people who are rabidly enthusiastic about something when you show any sort of flippancy towards the language used, even, it becomes a big deal. And they do not take it well. And I get that. That's one of those things that I want to be careful about with my stand-up, is that I don't fall into that trap.
Fair enough.
Such a pleasure to talk to you, and we have asked you here today to play a game we're calling.
And the Emmy goes to?
We are right now in the eye of the Emmy storm. The Creative Arts Emmys were last weekend. The Primetime Emmys are this weekend. So no one is talking about anything but the Emmy Awards. Ooh. We're going to ask you 3 questions about these JV Oscars. Answer 2 correctly and you win our prize, one of our listeners. Rhymefest, who is Bob Costas playing for?
Wait, it's Emmy season?
Yeah.
Anything goes.
And we should not bypass the fact that he called them JV Oscars.
I got a chuckle out of that. JV Oscars. Very good.
Bob is playing for Matt Johnson of Houston, Texas.
All right. Ready to play? Here is your first question.
What would that make
Where
People's
does
Choice
the name
Awards?
Emmy for the award come from? Is it A, it's the initials M.E. for Mamie Eisenhower, who presided at the first awards? Is it B, strangely, it is named after our own panelist, Emmy Plotnick? Or C, it was named for the image orthogon tube, an important bit of early TV technology?
I'm going C.
I'm going with C.
You're going to go with C, and you are right. The image orthogon tube was known as Emmy.
That's what you're named after.
Huge advance TV technology, so much so that Emmy was named for it.
Yeah.
And I guess it must have been shaped like a lady with wings holding an atom, I guess. Here's your next question. The whole point of the Emmys, of course, as you know, is to promote TV. But at the 2015 Emmys, Andy Samberg went above and beyond to encourage people to watch the HBO show Game of Thrones. How did he do it? A, by wearing a handmade 15-foot-long dragon costume on stage. B, by giving out to the live international audience his actual HBO login and password. Or C, by playing a video in which his head was CGI'd onto every character in every sex scene from that season.
You know, I should know this, but somehow I missed that particular telecast. I'm just going to guess B.
You're going to guess B. He gave out his HBO login and password to the universe? He did.
Yes.
And people report, everybody, of course, immediately ran over to their televisions or whatever, and it worked for a few days. All right.
For
Very
long
good,
enough
Bob.
to get
Here
through Game
is
of Thrones.
2 for 2, right, as someone in your profession might say.
Yes.
You're batting 1,000.
He is. He's batting 1,000. Let's see what he does with this pitch. In Dame Helen Mirren's acceptance speech after winning an Emmy for her performance as Queen Elizabeth I, she said that her greatest triumph was what? Was it A, making her Queen Elizabeth I recognizably different from her Queen Elizabeth II? B, the voiceover work that she had done for the film Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Gablool, for which she was unfairly snubbed. Or C, she said her greatest triumph was, quote, not falling ass over tit as she climbed the stairs to the podium.
I'm going with C.
It is without question C.
You are right. You called your shot, as you might say. And allegedly, the censors who were manning, that bleep button were so charmed by her British accent that the remark made it to air, and now, again, to us. Rhymefest, how did Bob Costas do in our quiz?
Bob got 3 for 3. He got them all right.
Congratulations.
It's the trifecta. It's the hat trick.
It
is.
is.
The triple crown.
That's a good thing. Part of your job is coming up with catchphrases and names. What should we call it when someone goes 3 for 3 on this game?
The Costi.
There you go. He scored a Costas.
Oh, that's good.
Bob Costas is a Hall of Fame broadcaster and, not coincidentally, the winner of 28 Emmy Awards himself. Bob Costas.
What? What's up?
28 Emmys.
28 Emmys. Jeez and Louise. 28 Emmys.
Himself, Bob Costas. Thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody.
Take care, Bob. Bye-bye.
So long.
In just a minute, Rhyme Fest tells you how to get a free breakfast in our Listener Limerick Challenge. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to join us in the air. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR. Support for NPR and the Percent sponsor and no casino.
Potential savings will vary.
Hey, Ryan Smith, we're playing this week with Brian Babylon, Peter Gross, and Emmy Blotnick.
Hey!
And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois. Give it up for Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Rhyme Fest. Thank you so much. In just a minute, Rhyme Fest meets our Limerick Fest. A little nervous about having to rhyme things there, Rhyme Fest?
I've never rhymed in Irish.
If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924.
Not all limericks
right
are
now,
Irish.
panel, I got some more questions for you from the week's news. Brian, a recent study shows you can tell a lot about someone's personality by the style of their what?
Come on, man.
Not their clothing, no.
Hair?
The style of their, give me a hint.
Give your hint.
Language?
It's like, okay,
Handwriting?
let's start from the beginning. Are you an A-frame or a tight squeeze?
Peter, I don't think we should be asking. Yeah, like the
clue's a
say
little
that again,
racy.
Yeah, an A-frame or a
house.
No. I'll give you another hint. I'll give you another hint.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, hang on. Bring it in, big guy.
You're right.
Hug?
Oh. Bring it in. Oh,
By your type of
your
hug?
garage.
No. Does anybody know what the heck I'm talking about?
Jeans. It's jeans.
Not your jeans.
Does an A-frame a type of hug?
It is. It's the way that you hug.
An A-frame is a hug?
You've never heard of that?
No, is that where you go?
Yeah, the
you
A-frame, classically.
Keep it a
I
difference?
mean, you people wouldn't understand it because you're emotionally
What in the
secure.
Gilded Age are you talking about?
This is a thing for people who don't get hugged very much.
Sure. No, the study showed that people who were neurotic,
for
it's true.
wasps.
People, they asked people to hug, and they observed them, and then they surveyed them, and they found that people who were self-described as neurotic or insecure preferred the lean-in hug or the A-frame. If you think about it, you're both leaning in, you're going to hug into the middle.
Oh,
it looks like an A.
I thought you meant the arms created an A somehow.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
I know people who hug like that.
Yeah, exactly. And, or people with self-confidence and empathy, like those close-in hugs with lots of contact. And your father prefers no hugs at all. You just have to forgive him. It's the way he was raised. He still loves you.
Okay.
I'm an O-frame hug where you don't get any. It's just a zero.
The study goes on to say that romantic partners hug on average for 7 seconds, while friends, just friends, hug for under 3 seconds. Across the board, people reported it wasn't the hug that freaked them out, it was the fact that their friend was timing it.
In your ear.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I never knew about that.
Why are you pulling away? 5, 6.
Would you prefer I count down 1,000?
See, my thing is, I pretty much have a traditional hug, but my anxiety is whether or not to hug, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're
that's
like,
the
all right,
thing.
okay, are we hugging now? Are we hugging friends?
What about the grab hand, right hand grab, bring body in, left hand hug, so it's a combo handshake.
Right.
Oh, yes, this one is for avoidant straight men.
Yeah. Anybody timing that?
Peter, as the baseball season comes to a close, more and more fans took the 999 challenge this year. What is the 999 challenge?
9 beers
Okay,
in
9
innings,
called of them?
throwing up 9 times.
You're so close.
I missed one of the 9 beers are right.
9 beers are right. 9 innings are right. What's the other thing that you do at a ballpark?
Going to the bathroom?
No.
9 hot dogs.
Yes, 9 hot dogs. You figured it out.
Fair.
The 999 challenge. Drink 9 beers, eat 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. There was all the rage this year, people trying to do it all over the country in various ballparks. It proves that even with the pitch clock, baseball itself is still boring.
Yeah.
But an average baseball game is, 95 hours?
Yeah,
so
pretty
that's actually not that much.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
space it out.
yeah.
And you sleep, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well, of
sleep
course,
like
no,
4
I
or
mean,
5
it's all fun and games until you get to extra innings, then you die.
I'm always just as happy up in the bleachers or behind home plate. The crowd starts chanting out just as I lose count of how many hot dogs I ate. Hey, let's head out to
I think I could do it. I think I could do 9.
Coming up, it's lightning fill in the blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like.
All right. When I drank, I could do 9 beers in, let's say, I could do 9 beers in about 4 or 5 hours. 5 or 6 hours. 9 hot dogs would be a stretch. Because that's a lot of, but I think I could do it. I think I could eat 9 hot dogs over 4 hours. 9 innings is 9 innings 4 hours? Or are we talking? Are we talking 2 hours? I mean, I know it depends. Depends on some level on how well matched the teams are.
Yeah.
Personally, I say the biggest problem is being able to financially support that, considering how much these things cost in the ballpark.
Yeah. Right. I do believe I would, back in my drinking days, could have put down 9 beers in 2 hours. I would have been very full. I don't think I would have been exceptionally drunk. I might have been a little buzzed. If I'm not drinking anything but beer, like if I'm not drinking beer and hard alcohol, real alcohol, beer at some point became more like a soda for me, and I could just sort of drink it. You know. I think I could drink a beer per inning. I know I am capable of putting down, would have been capable of putting down 9 beers in a very short period of time. I would have been drunk and very, very full. It's the weird sort of in-between time frame that I'm not sure about.
All right. So your average, on average, a Major League Baseball game is roughly 3 hours.
3 hours. That's 3 beers an hour. I got that.
Yeah.
I got that. I could do 3 beers an hour. Or could
yeah.
have. I could have. I do not know if I can do that now.
I never could, because I could never stomach the stuff.
I mean, I know. It also depends on the beer.
True.
You know, am I drinking an American ale or lager, something that's pretty standard at ball games? You know?
Honestly, from what I've seen at concession stands, you're probably drinking something like
Budweiser, Bud Light,
Coors,
PBR maybe. And I know I can put down 3 PBRs in an hour.
Yeah.
Well, if you're trying to make a record for it, then you're definitely going to be drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
No. Because
They have the record book.
I fill up after the third bar. That, that short has crossed 20,000K. Or 20,000, has crossed 20K views.
Excuse me, what?
That short. Coors Light may be a microbrewery. Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
But I would probably be drinking something pretty light, not a heavy beer. But the not a joke about the Welsh accent has broken 20K views over on YouTube. It's at 20.7, I think, something like that. It doesn't really, I mean, that's over its lifetime, so that doesn't really, mean anything.
It's not like it has suddenly gone viral, but hey, it's made 20,000 views. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, yeah, it is a milestone. It is a milestone. Thing about
That's better than a gallstone.
Huh?
Oh, that's far better than a gallstone.
Millstone.
That is. All right. Back to the game.
Call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. You can see us most weeks here at the Studebaker Theater in downtown Chicago. And you can also catch us on the road. If you're in St. Louis, we will be there too next week, September 18th. Catch us there. And if you happen to prefer Honolulu, we'll be there on October 9th and 10th. Tickets and info are at nprpresents.org. And if you like our show but wish it was just about 8 seconds long, you can find us on TikTok at WaitWaitNPR.
Right.
Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Allison calling from beautiful Eugene, Oregon.
Beautiful Eugene, Oregon. It's magnificent there. What do you do there?
I'm an archaeologist and professor at the University of Oregon.
You
where I
are
teach in the
kidding
anthropology
me!
department.
An archaeologist! That's
I am an
awesome.
archaeologist.
What is your specialty?
I work in Southeast Asia, mostly in Cambodia.
Wow. Wow, digging up, exploring the ancient cultures there?
Yes, exactly. And because I study and have a deep respect and love for old things and history, I was really excited and was hoping to get to talk to Bill Curtis, but I understand he's not available today.
With all due respect, I came here to speak to Bill Curtis too.
I seem to have disappointed everyone. All right, well, welcome to the show, Allison. Your job, of course, is to complete 3 news-related limericks. Rhymefest is going to read you the first part of each limerick, but not finish them. That is your job. Do it 2 times out of 3. You will win our prize, a voice of anyone you might choose for your voicemail. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Here's your first limerick.
I scoop eggs in and off the cuffway at the place I'm pretending to stay. It works out really well at a mid-range hotel. I sneak in for the breakfast.
Buffet.
Right, very good. More and more people are going online to brag about strolling into hotels they're not staying in to help themselves to the complimentary breakfast buffet. I get it. It's better. My cereal at home, say, doesn't taste quite the same as when it does when I get it by turning a crank on a plexiglass box for 3 minutes.
Man, so you get out of your bed, get in the car, drive to a Hampton Inn,
maybe,
and just go to town.
Maybe you're going to, getting up and you're going to go do something. You need some breakfast. You happen to be passing by one of those mid-range chain
Mediocre
hotels.
Waffles. Don't mind if I do.
Exactly.
They're not. It's not the best breakfast.
Can you get a red delicious apple tightly wrapped in saran wrap?
That's what I want. All right, Allison. Here is your next limerick.
Phone and keys. Anymore, I can't haul it. If there's need for cash, I don't recall it. 'Cause cards, coins, and bills are for outdated tills. and I no longer carry a
wallet.
A wallet. A new study found that nearly half the population no longer use wallets anymore. Great. Now where am I supposed to carry my COVID vaccine card for some reason? Now the change away from wallets comes both, of course, with the technology in our phones and from your being honest with yourself about never, ever going to complete that punch card for a free smoothie.
Facts.
It's true.
True.
Here's your last limerick, Allison.
At this wedding, it's easy to mingle. Here's a table where tensions sure tingle. There's a face sheet with facts, so I might find a match at the table where guests are all
Single?
Yes, this week the New York Times reported on the trend of couples who are giving all the single people attending their wedding a laminated fact sheet with the faces of all the other single people. It makes it an even more special day. You're starting your life as a married person, and you're utterly destroying your former circle of friends.
Right? But you know, after like a few bottles of that cheap wine, reception wine, I don't need no sheet. Let's do this. Sheet schmeat. Let's kick it. You know?
Sheet schmeat.
I don't need any sheet.
I don't need information or to know anything about you.
We're at this Hampton Inn. We have breakfast tomorrow. Let's have a good time. You know?
I don't need help schmeating people.
This is a nice wedding, too, at a Hampton Inn.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Rhymefest. How did Allison do?
There's a show full of winners today. Allison got all 3 right. She's a winner.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It was a dream come true.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Maddie brings up an interesting point about hotels aren't losing money on the breakfasts. And I mean, I'm not surprised because there's not, those breakfasts, they really aren't that good. Like, they are free and they are good enough to be free,
Yeah. There's a difference between the free buffet and walking into one of the higher end dining rooms where they actually have a menu.
Yeah. There's also there's a quality difference between the most people skip them. Oh, that makes sense too.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That tracks. I'm pretty sure that there's a pretty big difference in quality between... Well, I don't know. I only stayed at 2 places in England, and only one of them was I able to get the breakfast buffet at. And it was pretty good. It was the full English... A full English breakfast is also better than whatever you can get at a continental buffet. Or a continental breakfast buffet. The few people straggling in are basically already eating somebody else's breakfast who didn't use it. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's not like the food costs a lot. So. Yeah. There is that. Okay. those hotels can get dinged if they don't serve breakfast, but it's likely relatively cheap, so some hotels just pay the fee because serving breakfast costs more overall. Yeah, I could see that.
Honestly, the only actual cost that I could see the hotel being upset over for stragglers wandering in would be liability.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
Because while the argument can be made that you wandered in and you didn't pay for the right to be there, if they weren't actively checking to make sure that you weren't supposed to be there, then it's their negligence for letting you wander in and eat their food.
Right. An argument for negligence can be made, yes.
Yeah. Probably not a really good one.
No.
But someone would be willing to try it.
And I'm pretty sure just to keep the hotel's name private, like out of the news, the settlement some settlement would happen just to make people be quiet. So, yep. It's more of the theft itself. They don't want word get out that free breakfasts are available to everyone. I think there's that too. There's a bit of that too. Yeah. Because at some point they will start losing money on it if everybody's eating the breakfasts. You know, either they'll start losing money or they won't have enough supplies for the few people who do stay there that want to get breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that part of it too. Although, you know, if the U.S. did more to just sort of provide everybody with food, it wouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying people wouldn't go out and have breakfast out places, because sometimes it's nice to have breakfast, you know, not at home. Right. But also, there wouldn't be a driving need to find a free breakfast. You know, eating breakfast at home, I don't know the cost of a single bowl of cereal, but I'm willing to bet that a single bowl of cereal, a single bowl of oatmeal, a single... like, a single breakfast sandwich is actually several dollars. It's hard to get enough food for under, say, $10, even eating at home, to actually fulfill your dietary needs. And that holds more true as it goes through the day. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm building to, Maddie. How it would actually be so much cheaper if we had free meals available to the general public at massive kitchens. And yeah, it would wreck the economy in other ways. But it would also, if you start thinking in a less capitalist way, that's one of the things that would allow us to move away from the drives of capitalism. Because once you start providing for the basic needs of the entire community, you stop needing currency to pay for anything other than wrongful death.
Well, yes and no. And yes and no. All right. if you've got massive kitchens set up so that people can just come and eat whenever they're hungry, they would be by nature providing nutritious but pretty basic food. Thinking like a school lunchroom, it's nutritious, a good school lunchroom, or it's nutritious, but overall it's pretty basic because it's things that can be made in large quantities to feed a large number of people. Which means that you would still have a need for restaurants for someone to go get something special that's not offered at their local dining hall. There would also still be a need for grocery stores because maybe you want to make your own special meal, or you've got a dietary allergy and you trust that the dining hall has the ability to do that, but you are worried enough to not want to take chances, so you're going to make all of your own meals yourself.
I mean,
So you would still have,
yeah, you would still have need for those things.
you would still have an economy going on that would be doing, but it would be based around these are special, different things because your basic needs are met.
I argue that an economy doesn't need capital. An economy doesn't mean money. It is possible to do an economy of mutual debt that has very little equates very little to an economy of capital or to capital. Like it's a debt of favors, so you can't really pay it back with money. I also argue that it's not it at this point. Again, you're starting to dismantle capitalism at the point of providing for the needs of everyone.
So my question is, isn't money effectively just a portable form of the labor and IOUs that have been expended? You've done work for company A.
No.
But you don't actually need any of the stuff from company A, so they give you money to go spend your work hours elsewhere.
No. It is, and here's why. Money is a direct commodification, a direct quantification of the value, of the perceived value of what you've put in, of your end of, or of their end of this IOU bargain. Also, in the way that it represents debt, it is very transferable debt. And it's debt that is guaranteed to be paid back by anybody because of either the perceived inherent inherent value of the currency, or the perceived stability of the guarantor of the currency, thusly making the guarantor of the currency or the collections of backing for the currency responsible for the debt. It's debt that they owe you, not that the person who you did the favor for owes you. It is money is just fiat. Yeah. It
I knew it was a vehicle, but that's taking it a bit far.
And because of because of the way that the debt of money transfers around and becomes the debt of the state and the debt of the debt of the state currently, it can be leveraged to it can be leveraged to power. I don't think that's the only avenue by which money equals power, but that is one of the unique ones about non-gold standard backed money. Off the precious metal standards, once we got off the precious metal standards. And it's a very sort of, the concept of currency, because it centralizes debt.
Okay, it centralizes debt.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's what I was trying to say. Currency centralizes debt. It means that whoever issued the currency is responsible for the debt it represents.
Okay.
Now,
so then taking your work hour system. I'm kind of taking what you've stated and lumping it in with one of my favorite sci-fi books, wherein the colonists are all based, they're based on 8-hour work days, but it's 8-hour work days doing things for different parts and needs of the colony.
All right. So this sounds a lot like the credit hour system from my childhood.
Sort of, but not. The way it's lined out in the book is a little different from what you've described to me. But going by that, in either form, not where, but how. You have made these really gorgeous things in your spare time. This is your hobby. You're making these things because it brings you pleasure. Someone wants you to make whatever for special event. So they're hiring you. They're asking you to do labor to do this for their special event because they don't have that capability. How do you work that trade-off? Do they, is it solely based on they bring you enough materials to do what they want plus more for you to keep making your special thing?
Well, partially that's between you two to work out. You come up with that contract of what is this? What, do you bring me the materials and I make it and you owe me a favor? Is it, and that is a very individual thing to work out. Yes. That can be scaled up to there's just a general understanding of this is what I in general, this is what I expect. I expect the materials to do my job, and a favor and two favors at later date to be named later, or and extra something from someone else to be named later, or and it could be understood. Somebody could a larger company could just have it be understood, or a larger conglomeration could just have it understood that that's the way it is.
Okay.
Now,
So-
manufacturing, I'd also like to point out that you're needing less larger and larger corporations, because manufacturing itself is decentralizing. It's not completely decentralized, but with the advent of things like 3D printers, a lot of manufacturing can just sort of be done at home.
So my next question is, how do you scale that up and make it equitable so that you're doing this in your government here, your country here, and you're wanting to trade for something completely different over there? How do you scale up so that it's an equitable trade, so that the needed products are getting traded across country lines or whatever?
Negotiations.
Benefit.
Negotiations. I mean, it takes a long time. It will take a long time for anything to get done, but it will be very stable. It will be very, very stable. And acting in good faith is a large part of that. Doing things like taking away the basic needs, covering the basic needs such as shelter, food, shelter, food and water, and what was the other most basic need? I mean, other than sanitation. I include that under shelter, I think. Once you take away those very basic needs that we have the ability to take away now, a lot of the rest of it starts to work itself out.
Okay.
And you do the work you do, what you do to put in for your credit hours. And see, this is the thing, is even credit hours are kind of a centralized, idea. I think, there's some things, I think even internally, the sort of the workings of whatever economy has to be made in each community: food, water, oxygen, shelter. Right. Once those are taken care of for humans, I think the rest of the economy can be built off of the growth, the existential growth of humanity. I think that's where I'm kind of going with that. And at that point, the things like how do you trade across borders become sort of like, well, you do. They need these things over there? Okay, we'll provide these for them, knowing that they will provide those things for you in the future. Like whatever or knowing that somebody else will provide things for you in the future, you know, because they'll provide things to them, and everybody's, you know, your economy becomes about who can put into the communal, into who can help take care of communal needs more, who can, not more, but how, you know, how can you take care of the communal needs?
It'll be more about ensuring that communal needs are met first before the extra stuff is.
Right. It's a very Vulcan communitarian sort of way of looking at it. And I do believe that we can get to a post-capitalist economy and maintain what we have, if not continuing. Yeah, it really did. Left and then left some more and left even more. Yeah, I think we can get to a post-capitalist economy and maintain, you know, what we, not just maintain what we have, but continue to grow in terms of technology, in terms of general satisfaction and quality of life for the population. I don't think those things have to stagnate. That is just, you're just doing that to rage bait, Peanut Gallery.
That's the only one that had anything to do with pizza, so we're just talking about food.
Look, aside from that, I am a proponent of pineapple on pizza. I like it.
I don't hate it.
But
I'm one of those weird people who's like, meh, don't hate it, don't love it. I'm okay. Not gonna turn it down.
we should really probably finish the video, though.
Yeah, let's go.
Support for this podcast and the following message coach from Struts for Advice online with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.
Can you give us the scores?
Yes, Brian and Emmy each have 2. Peter has 4.
Oh, my goodness. Brian, I'm going to arbitrarily pick you to go first. Here we go. The clock will start when I begin your first question. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday, FBI Director Kash Patel traveled to Utah to oversee the investigation into the shooting of blank.
Charlie Kirk.
Right. On Tuesday, the FAA released an advisory that lithium batteries pose blank risks on flights.
Explosions.
Well, fire risks, good enough. This week, pop star Bad Bunny said he left the U.S. off his world tour over fears of blank raids at his concerts.
Ice race.
Right. This week, a teacher in Germany sued her school after she was asked to provide a doctor's note explaining why she had blanked.
Pregnant.
No, she was asked to explain why she had pregnant? No. Why is she pregnant? No, she was asked to explain why she hasn't shown up to work in 16 years. On Tuesday, NASA's Perseverance rover found new evidence for potential life on blank.
Mars.
Right. On Wednesday, ABC announced that one of the stars of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives would be the next blank.
Bachelorette.
Right. This week, a German town is
that
finally
too.
at peace after the culprit behind a string of ding-dong ditch pranks was revealed to be blank.
The teacher who didn't show up for 16 years?
No.
A
A
snake.
small garden slug. Residents of an apartment complex in Bavaria couldn't figure out why their doorbells kept ringing, and they'd run down and there'd never be anyone at the door. Turns out a small slug had been crawling over the doorbells on the building's main entry panel.
Oh, that's so good. That's so German.
It's less a ding-dong ditch, more of a ding-dong
Yeah.
away. But here's the question for you, Rhymefest.
Yes.
How did Brian do in our quiz?
Brian got 5 more right for 10 points, a total of 12. Brian is in the lead.
Well done. All right, Emmy, you're up next. Here we go. Fill in the blank. On Thursday, President Trump gave a speech at the Pentagon commemorating blank.
September 11th.
Right. On Tuesday, RFK Jr. released the document of his Make America Blank Again strategy.
Healthy?
Yes, this week the 300 South Koreans arrested during an ICE raid on a blank plant in Georgia were repatriated.
Oh, it's a Hyundai?
Hyundai plant. According to a new study, childhood blank is now more common than childhood malnourishment.
Obesity.
Right, yes. This week, Japan is celebrating the life of a racehorse who had spent her 29-year career blanking.
Losing. Jumping.
No, losing every single race. For the first time in almost 2 years, Prince Harry had tea with blank.
His father.
King Charles, yes. On Thursday, Gmail announced a special tab only for sorting all your blank purchases.
Your
Amazon?
online purchases.
From?
The internet.
No. Specifically, it's Amazon. Just
Amazon.
This week, a nurse in Kentucky credited her CPR training with helping her save the life of a blank.
Oh, that horse that lost all the races.
No. She saved the life of a drunken raccoon.
That won all the races?
Apparently. Can you imagine how bad that horse felt? The woman was on a walk when she heard strange noises coming from a dumpster next to a distillery. It turns out it was a drunken raccoon having difficulty breathing, so she laid down and started chest compressions. This has to be a tricky moment in the life of a nurse. On the one hand, you know that raccoons can carry rabies. On the other, when are you going to get another chance to do CPR on a raccoon? Rhymefest, how did Emmy do in our quiz?
Emmy got 5 right for 10 points, a total of 12. Emmy and Brian are tied.
Wow.
Now, how many then does Peter Gross need to win?
Peter needs 4 to tie and 5 to win.
All right, here we go. Peter, this is for the game. On Thursday, European leaders expressed alarm after drones sent by blank were shot down in Poland.
Russia.
Right. In her new memoir, Kamala Harris said it was reckless to allow blank to make the decision to run for re-election without consultation.
Trump. No, Joe Biden.
Right. This week, the NCAA handed permanent bans to 3 college blank players who were involved in sports betting.
Basketball?
Basketball, yes.
Okay.
For the first time since the pandemic, blank is no longer a top 10 cause of death for Americans.
Pandemic.
COVID? Yes, this week a man in Canada was ticketed while driving a blank.
Just the funniest car.
It's true, because it was a bright pink Barbie Power Wheels toy car. According to a new study, chronic sleeplessness increases the chance of blank in aging brains.
And dementia.
Right, on Monday, the Blanks announced a new cookie flavor based on Rocky Road ice cream.
The Girl Scouts?
Right, yes. In what's being called a first-of-its-kind heist, a honey store in the UK was robbed by a gang of blanks.
Bees!
I mean, it's got to be
Honey
bears, right?
bees.
No, bees.
Oh, give it back.
Pretty much.
was honey
No, the
bees.
heist was actually carried out by thousands of so-called robber bees. That's a subspecies known for stealing honey from other colonies' hives. The shop's owner was able to lure them into the bathroom where she could trap and release them, and thankfully only one bee was killed. But wouldn't you know it, he was the old bee who had just gotten back in the game for one more score.
This was in England? What kind of Pixar malarkey was that? It's like Guy Ritchie directed a Pixar movie.
Trapped all the bees in the bathroom,
Now,
right?
our panelists predict what new drug will be featured in the last ever pharmaceutical.
What?
Trapped all the bees in the bathroom, right?
I don't. Did they?
That's what they said, right?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, if that's the case, then they turned it into a gas station for a little while. It was a BP.
Ow. Ow.
Pharmaceutical ad to be seen on TV. But first, let me tell you, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions. Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Godica writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shane O'Donnell, thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. B.J. Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Norboss, and Lillian King. Special thanks this week to Blythe Robertson and Monica Hickey. Our saint is Peter Mary Gwynn. Our visual host is Emma Choi. Technical direction is from Lauren M. White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillock. And the executive producer of Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mr. Hot Mike Danforth. Now, panel, what will be the last pharmaceutical ad we get to see on TV before they all go away? Brian Babylon.
It's going to be Handmaid's Plan B.
Emmy Blotnick.
Scatavan. It gives you the relaxed confidence to jazz scat.
Peter Gross.
Bone for Life. A pill you take just once that gives you an erection that never goes away for the rest of your life.
And if any of that happens, panel, we'll ask you about it on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Dr. Che Rhymefest Smith. Thanks also to Brian Babylon, Emmy Blotnick, and Peter Gross. Thanks to all of you here at the Studebaker Theater. You're fabulous. And thanks to all of you listening wherever you might be. I'm Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week from St. Louis, Missouri.
Now show me what kind of hug you got.
Da, 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 da. Bring.
This is NPR.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Shopify.
All right. Well,
Man, I really love that lightning round.
Huh?
Looking at that score, I really took it over that lightning round.
Oh, wow. Wow. You really did.
All right.
Well, so here are the scores. Kat coming in a close third with 31. Myself eking out second place with 33. And Peanut Gallery hitting a nice home run with 34. Let us take a quick look at this Reuters article. Oh, no, it's just the picture of Kash Patel looking incredibly high during that. Oh, and he's got the... Okay.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I know what I'll do.
Yeah.
I know what I'll do. He's got the, oh my God, they know look.
Mm-hmm.
Like that look right there. That's the look of, oh crap. I'm too high and they know. Oh man. The edibles just kicked in.
Oof.
Yeah, thank you, Maddie. Appreciate that. That is good. So, yeah, that's... What?
We're going to talk about Nepal.
Okay, what's going on with Nepal?
So, there was protests against the government, in which, I think 30 civilians were shot.
Yes. And
in response to this, there was a massive nationwide protest where they literally burned down the Supreme Court, the main house of government, and chased members of the government out of their houses. They had to flee, hanging onto platforms underneath helicopters. And the most wonderful thing, two most wonderful things about what happened afterwards. One, the next day, after all the rioting and the houses of government had been burned down, everybody showed back up to clean up the mess.
Oh, wow.
And two,
Well, part B of that one is that while they were busy harassing and chasing the people in office that were doing things, they protected and helped the families that didn't have anything to do with the monkey business.
or the ones that got abandoned by their husbands, or fathers, or other members who just ran away and left them to deal with it. One lady was trapped in a burning building that was one of the government employees' homes. And the people who set it on fire went in to rescue her as her husband had fled, leaving her there stranded.
Yep.
Wow. I don't think the link came through all the way, Kat.
That's okay. I'll find a better one. Oh, he's telling the next part, which is good.
The next part is amazing for completely different reasons. After this happened, they have elected an interim prime minister via Discord.
Yes. They set up a Discord server to hold elections because they, among other things, they had trashed things so badly they couldn't do it another way.
Okay. Wow.
Let's find someone that's got it.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Ah, this one's a better one. Let's try this link. There we go.
Nepal's PM chosen on Discord. How the gaming chat app helped Gen Z elect their leader. Oh my god.
You can see why we were waiting to see if NPR would have this on their thing.
Yeah. So this is the new prime minister?
Yep, she is.
She is the new prime minister.
And recognized.
I love it. I love it.
They swore her in Friday. Yes.
I love it. That is.
Yep. 50. It was 50 people that were killed in the protests before it turned into a riot.
And what they had said the protests were about originally was because they'd cut off social media.
Mm-hmm.
But and the reason why they cut off social media is unarguably because the biggest trend at the time, the biggest hashtag at the time was government Nepo babies.
Right. Right. It was a case of there's a lot of nepotism going on here. So they had a lot of corruption and nepotism, and the people were primed to riot. Like, they were getting ready to start having these protests anyway. It wasn't like this just popped off out of nowhere. It was set up this way, but the Nepalese government was trying to sell it as, oh no, they're just angry because this happened. And we're surprised when everything kept going even after they turned social media back on. And it's the social media aspect of it that makes it even more sort of poignant that they chose their prime minister over Discord.
Yep.
You know. So yeah. That's Nepal. That's the Nepal situation.
Yeah.
Any more to say on it?
On Nepal? No. You've got that. You've got they recently held the elections for president for SAG.
Okay.
So they're the Screen Actors Guild is getting a new president.
Okay.
We no longer have Fran.
No. Fran's turn is over.
If we have too much more to cover, I'm going to need to take a quick break.
No, it's mostly this one. So you've got Samwise gets to go be president now. Because they chose somebody.
Oh, nice.
So he's the new one, and the science thing that I was expecting was the vaccination for koalas.
Oh, they got a vaccination for koalas now?
Yeah, so you can vaccinate your koala against chlamydia.
Good. Maybe the chlamydia levels in koalas will start to drop.
Yes. Those were the things that I was looking for, so.
There we go. Well, no, they didn't cover any of those. Maybe next week.
Maybe. I really hope the Nepal thing shows up next week.
I think it will. Well, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Kat, Peanut Gallery, thank you. Maddie Holmes, thank you. Lockpick, thank you. Let's see. Chris into 386, thank you. Thank you, all you chatters, and thank you, all you lurkers. Much love to all y'all. Stick around for the raid. We will be raiding out to Lockpick. Lockpick.
Goody.
Yeah, I think he just got started a few moments ago, so stick around for that, and, yeah, now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces, we're out, y'all.
on